Dang. Wow. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. We're not going too far in the future. We're not going too far in the past. Right now is the vibrate, man. And women. So matter of fact, now is a vibrate, and that's what I want to speak on, about being in the moment, being in the now, and basically dealing with reference to the past. So that's another thing. All right, because I knew I had a joke with this. So for myself, because matter of fact, I've been reading The Power of Now a lot again lately, and just rebuffing and reshining up some things, And one thing I thought about that I need to get back to doing is cutting people off from telling negative stories of their past, or just past stories in general that don't serve the moment. As a matter of fact, I came across that vibe in the book. Where it's like, we should only refer to the past if it's absolutely relevant to the present. You know what I'm saying? And I had a vibe where I used to be blunt about that. Like when somebody go to tell a story, and I could tell where it was headed. And I'm like, this person about to kind of turn this into complaining about something. I stopped that person. I'm like, wait, hold on. Is this story gonna make us happy? Is this story gonna make us money? Is this story gonna benefit our soul? Like, is this story, you know what I'm saying? Is going in the past, wherever you're trying to go right now, or just anywhere but this moment that you're trying to take us, is it beneficial for us? Because if not, I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I used to do, not used to, I'm doing people straight up like that again. You know what I'm saying? Like, cutting that short, like, if it don't serve us, then why are we talking about it? You know what I'm saying? Of course, I know why we talking about it is the negative aspect of that person, that egoic mind trying to keep them in that same place. But, making sure you set that line and boundary, is very key. Like only referring and with yourself, first and foremost, of course, you know what I'm saying? But and again, I was dealing with it after reading that book. I always, and then naturally, like, I always reminisce, but it was always, in most cases, nope, never not stunt. There's a balance. Sometimes I reminisce in a beneficial way, but sometimes I reminisce in a harmful way. Reminiscing, championing all my little drug days of the past. You know what I'm saying? That no longer serve me, to bring it up and champion it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and again, ain't nothing wrong with accepting my past, but again, remember, it's a thin line between accepting and then just continuously dwelling in a place that don't serve you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because the egoic mind could find a way to trick you in that manner. But again, only refer to the past if it's absolutely relevant to the present. Where it's like bringing up what happened to us when me so and so was walking in the gully and we found that dead body. you know then let us be bringing up that past situation, because it's about to give us a aha moment in the present. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know and whether it's anything, whether it's going to past or just people talking in general, which, and I always forget, the past is also, like, sometimes we don't see like things that just happened 15 minutes ago as the past, but that's also the past. It's not now no more. It's the past. Kind of like the story of the monk, the two monks walking in the woods. As a matter of fact, hopefully I don't deter from the thing, but there's the story of two monks. And the whole object of the thing is, or should I say, the moral to the story is about letting the past be the past. But anyway, they had two monks walking through the woods, and monks, they have a vow of silence, they shouldn't be talking, things of this nature. So they walking through the woods and they come across a young lady that's, she kind of stuck trying to cross over the mud. So one of the monks, like, oh, ask the lady, do you need help or whatever. Then as he asked the lady, the other monk kind of like on some, with that vibe of like, man, we not even supposed to be talking. But anyway, he asked the lady, you need help, and then he helped the lady. Then bam, they done, and him and the monk continue walking about going about their business. And as they were walking, the other monk, you know, that was watching, he brought up, it's like, man, we not supposed to be talking and this and that. You wasn't supposed to help that lady. And then the other monk was like, I mean, here it is that, I put that lady down 10 minutes ago, but yet you are still holding on to her. You know what I'm saying? So basically what he's saying, like, I done did the deed and did the task, you know what I'm saying? The moment, it is what it is. Is you bringing up this past moment, trying to relive the past. Like, let it go, my brethren. I done talked and I done put it down already. You bringing up some old shit, and lame it, like, to just be straight up, like, you on some old shit, bro. Let's keep walking. You know what I'm saying? But that's the whole vibe again, not focus on the past, you know what I'm saying? Like, always continuously, being in your moment. As a matter of fact, like, if we ever find ourselves like in a situation that makes us unhappy, or we don't want to tolerate it, we got a few options. You could either remove yourself from the situation, change it, or accept what is, and not in that particular order, you know what I'm saying? But but for sure acceptance, it is what it is, and from there, you could change it, or remove yourself from the situation, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? But you don't have to also, like, so when you do come across things in your now that you may not be fond of, accept it. Acceptance is key. You just gotta, matter of fact, and laughter is key, being able to laugh at yourself, because in some of these moments, you kind of like, reason why it's hard to accept some moments, because that anger or whatever got you so frowned up and tight about it that it's hard for you to, like, break out of that mode and just say, like, what, I just need to move on or grow from this. So being able to laugh at yourself through this process, through all of your spiritual process, because you're gonna have to eat so much crow, as far as like things that you thought you knew and even preached and stood on a soapbox preaching about, that you may have been wrong about. And you know how when we find out that we was wrong about things, like, we get all uptight and the ego kicked in and try to be right or wrong about, like, well, no, I was right, you know what I'm saying? The ego get uptight instead of you just like laughing and just like, you know what, I was I was in the wrong vibe with that, you know what I'm saying? But and also want to speak into being in the now, but from the perspective, like, I think about me being a Capricorn, you know what I'm saying? Having this Capricorn energy with this bodysuit, you know what I'm saying? Uh, but I'll tend to, get into this super work mode, you know what I'm saying? I always just, you know, working, and if I don't catch myself, my working is not, like, I'm not enjoying, not to say that I'm not enjoying my work in the essence of it, but like, say for instance, like, where I'm trying to find a means to an end, like, so I'm not necessarily loving my now and focus on my now as much as I'm focused on trying to create, a certain future, more focus on the future, subtly, because that's a little thing that could be subtly, it could subtly hide from us, where we be like, oh yeah, I'm loving right now, this and that, but at the end of the day, you constantly, like, trying to focus on the future, and focus on your future in a way where you're not being present in your now, you know, because again, the now creates the future, but you have to be present now and not be, so far off into the future about the situation. As a matter of fact, the future will always seem better if you're discontent with your now, you know what I'm saying? And again, though, if you're discontent with your now, you have the options of change it, you know what I'm saying? Remove yourself from the situation and or accept the situation, But the future will always seem better if you're disconnected, because again, it's like, well, shit, if I don't feel good now, I'll feel better tomorrow. I'll make it it's like, nah, find a way to be at peace in this moment, and more peace will come to you tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Because if you feeling discontent in the moment, thinking the future gonna save you, then you're gonna be the same way tomorrow. Be discontent in your now and thinking the future gonna save you, and then you get to the next day being discontent, you're gonna be creating a cycle of discontent, continuously, you know. So one of the things, like what we may be like suffering from in essence, so like being in the present but wanting to be in the future, you know what I'm saying? That's like a little sneaky way, of like, so what we dealing with in essence is just real aimed at, again, what we do in the now is goes into the future, but we want to be focusing and locked in on the now and love what we doing now, and not like create building in the now what you want in the future, but more so looking at it from the future, like, oh yeah, I can't wait till the future comes. I can't, because I be having to catch myself with my visualizations, where visualizing my house in Venice, you know having to fall out of that mode of like, looking at the future, like, oh yeah, I can't, like, nah, accept your now, be happy in your now, and that house in Venice will come. But if you don't accept the moment, then you're gonna constantly create a vibration of discontent. You know what I'm saying? You have to accept what is, and if what is hard to accept, then change it, move around, or to the best of your ability, start working on ways to get yourself away from that situation. It's not impossible. Your egoic mind gonna make it seem impossible because it's trying to keep you in that same situation, but it's not impossible. You can move away from that whole situation. But again, matter of fact, where your goals taking so much of your time and attention that your present moment has become a means to an end, where your moment is more so I could make this happen, you know tomorrow, or make this right here, like everything is just focused on building to tomorrow instead of the now. And that's a sneaky little place, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause say for instance, like I could either be focused in my now, like dealing with my braces and just loving every moment of it, interacting with the people, and just connecting, and not even, like, everything is just in my moment of what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's being in the moment, you know what I'm saying? And indirectly, what I'm doing in the moment is going to take care of my future, but here it is, the whole moment, I'll just focus on, the bracelet, because the other stuff in the future, the bills or whatever, that's going to come when it comes. Right now, I'm working and sharing with people, compared to being in that mode of where, you sneak, like, where the ego sneaks in there, where you kind of like present and vibing with people, but like in and out of your brain, like, oh yeah, get this money for right now, and then do this, and not be able to do that. So I gotta make this much. I gotta do, you know what I'm saying? Then you start to kind of building some type of little game plan about the future in your mind, and again in your mind, and so you building up something that in essence, don't exist. And if something don't exist, then you can't fix on it. You know what I'm saying? That's why we get into that panicky mode about, things, is because we focus on the future too much. You know what I'm saying? Getting outside of being in the now. But don't let your now be a means to an end. Love the moment fully. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where people, like, I spoke to that, like, people who do like those thrill sports, or like, like bungee jumping, or motocross, or just anything of that nature, because a race car driving, because it puts them in the now. You know what I'm saying? Like when you race car driving or doing all these other things, that takes a lot of in essence risk, and just a lot of adrenaline pumping. You're not even your mind is not even allowed to even focus on something outside of you now. You know what I'm saying? It's either now, and that's why, what I'm saying too, because in a lot of those thrill sports, it's either now or you might end up injuring yourself. So you gotta pay attention to what's going on in front of you. You know what I'm saying? But that's where those type of sports are therapeutic for us on a spiritual level of just putting us into the now. You know what I'm saying? Exercising indirectly does that as well. You know what I'm saying? Just doing something just puts you into the moment. You know what I'm saying? But that's basically it. Oh, and also with complaining in any form or fashion is the egoic mind, and it always carries a negative charge. You know what I'm saying? Always. So and this is where the ego gets sneaky. Where, say for instance, you meditating, you taking care of everything, and it starts off small. What's funny is, you know, it starts off as something that we could look at as laughable, but then it turns into something where it's like, oh shit, now we panicking, like thinking that our soul is down because we done got too far in our ego, in essence. You know what I'm saying? But like, well, it starts off as simple as like, well, we got things together, and it could be as simple as, oh man, I wanted to go meditate outside today, and now it's raining. You know what I'm saying? Now, some of us, in a lot of, in some cases, we'll be conscious and catch that little complaint and hurry up and be like, oh, well, it wasn't meant to do that today if it rained. Some of us are catching, and some of us might not catch it, and just that little small complaint, again, something that seems simple, but it's just enough to get the ball rolling a little bit, and then complain about the weather pop up to another complaint. You know what I'm saying? And then it just turn back into the old habit, where next thing you know, you look up, you back acting like the old you, the old negative you that hindering yourself from being your greatest version. So beware of the complaining. You know what I'm saying? Like if you find yourself, let's see, complaining like about a situation you find yourself in, about what people do or say about your surroundings, your life situation, like all that is basically non-acceptance of what is. So that's another look. So complaining is another sneaky way for your lower self, or should I say your egoic mind, to take you away from the now. You know what I'm saying? Because complaining is discontent. You know what I'm saying? And again, with the habits of what most of us are taught, what I'm saying, being from the hood, or being from the trailer parks, or being from a little slum somewhere in Thailand, or wherever you're at in the world. What I'm saying? And we wasn't privy to this information, now knowing, what I'm saying, about this information, which I got kind of caught up in my rant and forgot where I was about to go next. But I accept what is. And I will change it from this moment on. That's the same thing for myself, like say for instance where my brain was at one time. I think about, like, I used to I write, perfect example, bringing up the past for reminiscing. So with my brain power at one time, oh, see, oh, accepting what is and then changing. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you know, my brain was thrown a little bit off because I used to do certain drugs, you know what I'm saying, that threw my brain off. Matter of fact, bringing up the past, but bringing up the past because it has relevance in this story I'm telling. But, you know, doing those old drugs that damaged my brain, you know, I got to a point in my now where, you know, it's like, all right, I'm not feeling the way I'm articulating myself, the way my brain function popping off, you know what I'm saying? So in that moment, you know, I had to, you know, step out of that realm of having a pity party or whatever, whatever, and just like step into changing, you know, accept like, all right, damn, like my mind done lost a little step. And yeah, I dislike this. But, you know, I don't have to stay like this. You know, I could change this, you know what I'm saying? And then that's when, you know, I started taking care of my health. I started with taking like B complex supplements or vitamins in essence. And then that's when I started moving into the more the ginkgo biloba and things of this nature and cleaning myself up. You know what I'm saying? But again, you know, I had a situation in the moment. You know, I was discontent with it. You know what I'm saying? So I accepted it and then I changed it. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, you know, period, point blank, simply. That's basically it. Stay away from the complaining. Be careful to not you know, making the now a means to an end. You know, us, matter of fact, whether it's Capricorns or other earth signs or anybody that's just real business oriented or, you know, just in essence goal oriented in some way, form, or fashion, you know, be careful that your goals is not a constant chase of the future, you know, and therefore taking away your now. Like, you know, be present in your moment. You know what I'm saying? Don't make the moment a means to an end. Like I'm only doing this so I could do this. As a matter of fact, and I think about Abraham Hicks speaking of like, you know, doing what you love, loving what you do, and even to a point if it may be something that you would think, you know, logically that I wouldn't, you know, it's like just like you don't have to push through things. So if you're not feeling like writing up information to do a video today, then don't do it. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that for myself. You know what I'm saying? Well, I really wouldn't, in essence, feel like doing a video, but feeling like looking for money, a means to end. Like I gotta make a video in order so I could, you know, continuously have you know, new information out there so people could send me donate, like, you know what I'm saying? So looking at it through a means to an end instead of just, you know, going with the flow, like being happy, like really, really genuinely wanting to do that video in the moment and then doing it. And matter of fact, those videos that I try to force things, that turn into videos that in essence never made it. Because matter of fact, I don't do takes, but like again, where I was just trying to fight through some energy, push through some energy, so the universe just really made sure I mucked it up throughout the whole attempt of the video so that I could just like, all right, scrap this and not do it, you know what I'm saying? And I look back at them situations like, you know, seeing that, you know, like let it just be, you know, a love or a vibe I feel to really want to talk on this subject. You know, like with this video right now, like I was really just feeling the vibe of wanting to talk on the subject where it was making me feel good to, you know, to write up the little stuff I wanted to talk about and things. So I'm like, all right, you know, this is what it is right now. So, you know, not looking at, you know, what you're doing as a means to an end, you know what I'm saying, but just loving it fully, like just loving. So say for instance doing my videos because I love to share. The money will come afterwards, you know, by me just putting out my vibration of wealth in the version of you know, words and knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And then somebody will send me their version of wealth as, you know, some little numbers as revenue in a PayPal account, you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. But I digress, you know, that's basically it. because this is one of the main teachings. Like, of course, you want to learn about your roots. Of course, you want to learn about astrology. Of course, you want to, learn about all the different aspects of spirituality in your being. But, one of the more important things in essence is, say for instance, your internal universe shapes your outside universe. So, you know, learning how to maintain your consciousness, your body, like and at least that's what I see as something more important, for myself. We all different in what we feel we should start with on our spiritual path or be more strong about. But for myself, I just feel like, being in the now, being spiritually liberated on that level, you know what I'm saying, is a very key thing, because if you learn how to be in the moment and eliminate stress and negativity from your life, then it'll be much more easier for you to be the greatest version and do all the things you really love and want to do in life, you know what I'm saying? If you if you're able to remove all the the brain noise and all the overthinking, if you're able to you know stop your egoic mind from hindering you, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why, down to, my intro being happy now it's a vibrate, because as a soul, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a person, I grew up in a family, like, and it's not to, like, oh, pity party, somebody played a violin, poor universal, wasn't born into a family that know about the occult. You know what I'm saying? It's not, in that manner, but, I wasn't, raised, in the occult and in knowing this information. So, it just kind of, whatever gravitate towards me with my heart. And when I first started opening up to information, the power of now was something where I'm like, man, this is some solid, you know what I'm saying? Just like when anything else that made sense and turned out being right with following my heart or my intuition as a little kid. So, for me, I share, as a reflection of what helps me spiritually liberate myself, what I deal with, is what I would like to, share and openly share, with others, because again, too, I'm not nobody guru or nothing like that, I'm just, I love philosophy. I love this information. I love sharing it with others. You know what I'm saying? It just happens that the fact that I'm, to toot my own horn a little bit, that I'm very intelligent. I may come off as somebody that should be, somebody's guru or teacher in essence. But I'm just like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the essence of upon my growth, and of course I know I have some unique difference and we're not exactly the same, but in the essence of just just growing and find my way and me sharing my journey and the things I love on my journey and the little knowledge and insights that I get on my journey, because it may it may or may not help some people. That's the whole gist for me. But to end on this note, and remembering this, only refer to the past if it's absolutely relevant to the present. When somebody go to talk about, oh man, so and so got shot yesterday, or such and such got locked up, or well, I'm trying to hit all aspects. So and so business bellied up and they lost all the money for their business, or this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, as you bringing this sob story to me, is this gonna be beneficial in this moment? Like, is you talking about the news story where somebody shot their other three family members, or this, you know what I'm saying? Is that beneficial for us in this moment? Like, how can I use this bit of information to better my Epic Lifestyles brand and better myself and my business? I can't do that with this information. Well, it's cool, and I don't want to know it, or you don't have to share it with me. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. It's like, that's what it is. And again, not only negativity, but just the past in general. Because again, you know, because in most cases, that's why I think about it too. Like, just whether it's negativity, because most people, when they go to the past, they're not going in a positive light. They're going in a negative light. But even in a positive light, you know what I'm saying, it still has to have relevance. So, say for instance, Al Bundy, bringing up his 4 touchdown game, you know what I'm saying? That's not nothing negative. That's a positive memory of his, you know what I'm saying? But as he bringing it up, like, oh yeah, I got the 4 touchdown, this and that. Like, all right, Al. What relevance does that hold for us in this conversation to help us grow spiritual, or help you grow spiritual, or me grow spiritually, or our businesses grow? Like, how does your high school game and bringing it up right now help us grow? You know, that's what it's about. Like eliminating all facets of things that hinder your growth, hinder us from our now. You know what I'm saying? Because another thing too, if you don't, how this ended up coming back around on me, because I kind of started getting easy on people and wasn't, you know, staying on that vibe of like as soon as I could tell somebody was going to a past story, or just as soon as I could tell somebody was about to talk about something that didn't serve none of us, I would, just like, oh, no, nah, like, I know where it's headed. Just nah, you know what I'm saying? But I backed off of that, you know what I'm saying? Thinking that I was micromanaging too much. But again, just going through the trial and error of my spiritual growth, realizing like, all right, that is something I need to implement back in there, ASAP. you know. And again, just and start to feel free to use this exercise with people. Look, because I feel like it is a methodology to it, like where you talking to somebody, if you could feel that vibe of it, or you let them talk enough just to stop right at the end of their story and hurry up and stop and be like, all right, hold on, all right, so does this story benefit us in some way? And then what's real is you really get to see how much that person is controlled by the egoic mind or not, in the essence of uh when you bring that up. I done had some people like really like, kind of catch it right quick and like, man, you know what? Nah, that story ain't had no, you know what? You right, Brandon. You know what I'm saying? But I done had some people that, well, again, the egoic mind kind of more fully in control. So like you bring it up, well, like, but nah, man, well, cause it is relevant to talk. You know what I'm saying? Where they'll start stuttering and just trying to find a way to make it relevant when it's obvious that it holds no relevance to our present moment. So again, how does this information benefit us in some way, form, or fashion? Because if it's not, and again, it's all right for people to vent. But if they're venting, we venting to find a solution. We're not venting just so you can be like, man, my little dog got shot, so and so got killed, my mama got cancer, and that's it. And just I just want to talk about it, and I don't want to find no solution about it, or hear no little, good vibe situation. I just want to dwell in my negativity and find no solutions. Nah, we're not trying to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Gotta, we're gonna allow for again, the past has to be absolutely relevant to the present. What absolutely and relevance, absolutely. I just have to, just really, put that out there, because it's the social norm for people to just always be in their past in a manner that don't serve their now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the social norm to talk about news stories that don't serve you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Oh, well, such and such happened in the news. Oh, yeah, this little girl got hit by the train the other day. I heard about that story. And did you hear about so and so down the street? His dog died, and this and that. And it's like, all right, this cool and all, but how does this serve us in the moment? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? How does this beneficial? And all right, if so and so, like, can we help so and so? Like, all right, if you bring this up, let me go get my medical kit. We could run and go save so and so right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's bring it up for that. You know what I'm saying? Again. So whether it's the past or complaining, negativity that doesn't serve your now, that doesn't serve your soul. You know what I'm saying? That's all old things that's hindering you from your spiritual growth. You know what I'm saying? Because your egoic mind, and the ego in general doesn't like growth. It want to stay in its identity. It wants to stay the same. And what keeps it the same? Reminiscing about the past and even when it doesn't have relevance, and being negative and complain, like all this keeps you constructed in that vibe. So only refer to the past if it's absolutely relevant to the present. Make a rap song out of, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we about to start doing. We're gonna have to start me-going it up. Shout out to the Migos. I don't knock no brethren getting their bread. Mumble rap or not. Blessings to those young guys. But that's it. Peace. Happy now. And now is the Had to bring it back old school for y'all. See, had to go back in the past because it had relevance to the now. Ending on that though, man. Peace, y'all.